Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing some French country farmhouse DIYs using items that I already have around my home. For DIY number one, I am going to be using this shaker style box. It's a crafting box that I've had many years. It's been sitting on my shelf here in the craft room. Haven't done anything with it. And I went down to the basement and found two candlesticks. I'm going to be gluing the bottom of the box to the tall candlestick here, and the lid of the box I'm going to be gluing onto this little candlestick here. And I'm just going to be using E6000. And I'm going to have to let these dry for like a day before I start doing anything. So I did let them dry for a day, and I'm just going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the plaster color. And I'm just going to paint everything here. The whole thing is going to get painted. I'm going to leave the inside of the box here natural, but I will be painting underneath the other candlestick that has the lid. So it is going to take me about 3 coats to get all this covered the way I want it. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing just with the smaller one. I'm just taking some sandpaper and I'm going to be distressing every piece I could find on here, even that little button type little metal thingy majiggy there. Just going to go ahead and get this all sanded up. And you can always take some stain and go over this, but I'm just going to leave it natural the way it looks. I kind of like the color from the candlestick that's underneath it already. And you can always paint your candlesticks and the box lid like this with black with a couple coats, and then put your chalk paint over it. And when you sand it off, you'll have the black color. I'm kind of liking this natural color here. All right, I'm liking how this looks. So I'm going to do some more sanding on this one and on the other one, and then I will show you how they both turned out. So here is the small one. I think this looks so cute. And here is the other one. Now you can use these for different things. I will show you at the end of the video what I've done with these. But for now, let's go ahead and get started on DIY number 2. Alright, so I had bought these little, I don't even know what they are exactly. I got these at Hobby Lobby a couple years ago. I bought a whole bunch for 79 cents. I have this candlestick here that I wanted to show you. I had 2 of them, and I cut this bottom off, but look, it unscrews. I did not know that. So I decided just to take that off. And I also have this little candle holder here that I've had in my crafting supplies. I have a ball knob too. And this is all going to get glued together. You see these little spindles here? These came off of that plate rail of my hutch that is in my dining room when I finished that off. So I'm going to be using one of those. I just want to sand this down a little bit to make it a little more rounded before I get it glued on. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Just take the E6000 and I'm going to go ahead and glue this little wooden candle holder onto the bottom base of my other candle holder. And these little candle holders are great for using as legs if you want to make your own risers. Just going to get a lot of glue on here, line that up. And I'm going to stick the ball into the opening and have the flat part so it will go on my little shadow box picture framey looking thing here. Let's make sure I get enough glue. Alright, so I'm going to be letting this dry. I usually let them dry for about 4 hours before I do anything to them. And this is going to go on the bottom. And I also want to do a little thing on the top with the spindle. So let me show you what I'm going to do with this. Now I cut off the little dowels that were on there. And I'm going to use this. I have some wooden buttons. And I also have this little wooden egg that I did sand the bottom of it so it will be a little bit flatter. Just going to take my E6000. I got my biggest button here. Going to put some glue in there. Put the next size button down in there. Okay. A little more glue here because we are going to put the spindle on top of here. And then I have another little wooden button that I'm going to glue to the top. Okay, and then I'm going to put some glue on the egg on the flat part. And whoops, got stuck to me there. And I need to put a little bit more glue. And I'm going to put it on top. Now I got to let this dry for the 4 hours too before I can paint it and do what I need to do to it. But that is going to go on top. So while I'm waiting for all of this to dry, I'm going to be working on the little shadow box frame thingy-majiggy. And it did have a holder on there so you can hang it, so I took that off and I filled it in and I did paint it with the black. Now this is going to be the back side to it, and I do want it to be all black. You know, these can actually pull double duty because I can always put something on this back side too if I want to later down the road. All right, I'm also going to distress this just a little bit because I will be displaying this with my other 2 projects that I just did. So I'm going to get this all distressed looking. And I think this would be great to use for seasonal items. I'd love to use this for Christmas, so I may be reusing it for that. But I'm just going to make it regular decor for right now. That's the beauty of this, because you can always change these things out. It'd be great for fall too. So I may be doing something with this for fall and for Christmas. All right, so I have this, it's got like an old newspaper print thing that I found on Creative Fabrica. I'm going to get it cut down, and I'm just going to be Mod Podging this on the inside here. I'm just trying to figure out what size I need. Okay. Cut just a little bit more off. All right. And let's cut this over here and see if that fits. Got to cut off just a little bit more. There we go. That fits perfect. Alright, so like I said, I'm just going to be using some Mod Podge. Just going to put a whole bunch of Mod Podge in here. Make sure I get it into the corners and on the edges. Let's place the paper in there. Make sure I get it pressed down. Alright, so I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to be starting to paint the base bottom and the little finial on top. So here they are. It's been 4 hours. They're all dry. They're ready to be painted. Going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the plaster color, and I'm probably going to have to do a few coats. And I should have gone ahead and painted this whole thing like the dark brown, but I had to do something different at the end. But you know, you live and you learn. Alright, so everything is dry. I'm just going to take my sandpaper and I'm just going to be distressing the top finial. And I want to do this a lot. I want to have a lot of distressing on here. And I also need to do it to the base. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue it to the top first. And I'm just going to let this sit for about 2 hours, I think, and then I will go ahead and glue it to the base. I made a little mark so I knew where the middle was. So I'm just trying to line it up. Make sure I have it in the middle. See, that looks so cute. All right, like I said, I'm gonna let it dry for a couple hours and then I'm gonna glue the bottom base on. All right, it has sat for a couple hours. It's pretty good here. I did take some black paint, and this is what I did, and I just kind of rubbed it in and it darkened it up, so I think that's okay. Let me get this lined up here. And now let's see how they all look together. I had this old cheese holder. It has a glass bottom. I thought it looked really cute on top of this one. Makes it like a little cloche. And again, you can change this out for the seasons real easily. And I just put some faux greenery in here, but you could always put a real plant in there if you had like a plastic liner that would fit inside. Now I have a few pictures here. All right, my sweet friends, that's going to do it for the video today. I hope that you enjoyed it and I could give you some ideas on how to revamp some of the items in your home that you already have. I want to wish everybody a very wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.